Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 1842 Northeast 54th Avenue here in Portland. We're located in the basement of the home, going through a 3-inch ABS cleanout. It transitions immediately to 4-inch pipe. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. We transitioned to either cast iron or clay pipe here a moment ago. We do have some standing water. This is cast iron pipe here, it looks like. And now we're in clay pipe. We'll take a look at that belly on the way out. We have a full-size 6-inch diameter tie-in here. We're going to see if we can figure this out. Generally, if it's a storm drain tying in, it's going to be a 3-inch connection, not a 6-inch. This is indicative of a party line connection. We have a single root strand coming in here at 70 feet. And here at 81 feet, we have reached the main lateral connection. I'm going to do locates to verify where this is at, and we'll let the line drain out completely before reeling back in. All right, located the camera head successfully. Line heads out to the main on Northeast 54th Avenue. We should be all drained out at this point here. We're going to go ahead and start reeling back in. We're going to locate this root intrusion here in just a second, see if it's on the city side or the homeowner side. At this point, the root strand that's coming through here is not, this is it right here, 70 feet. All right, just located this about 6 inches beyond the curb into the street. This would appear to be a city responsibility here. In Multnomah County, when you hit the, or from curb to curb is a city responsibility. I'm picking that up out into the road. Not by far, but it's past the curb there. And for the most part, the clay pipe here is actually in fairly good condition. There's a little movement at the joints, but most of them are still quite tight up against each other. And my biggest concern right now, we have a belly right out of the foundation of the house, and then we have this full-size 6-inch tie-in here, which again, it's possible it's a storm tie-in. I've done about 15,000 sewer scopes at this point, and I very, very rarely see 6-inch diameter storm connections. They're usually always a smaller 3-inch tie-in. That's what's got me concerned here. We're going to see if we can make contact with the neighbor, maybe have them flush a toilet or something. You may have to contact the city to try and verify with records what that is there. But I will put a marking down on the ground. Alright, I made contact with the neighbor next door. I've asked him to do a toilet flush, so we'll wait here for a minute or so and see if anything comes through. Alright, well the homeowner next door did indeed flush the toilet within about 30 seconds of me walking away from his doorstep. You should have seen water come flowing through here at this point. So as far as I can tell, it does not appear to be a party line connection based on the fact we don't have water running through, but that's also assuming, and I know this sounds a little funny, but that the homeowner actually did flush their toilet. I've had more than a few circumstances over the years where the neighbor has not done that, knowing that they have a party line connection. So anyway, as far as I can tell, assuming that the guy next door did flush his toilet, I am not seeing water coming through this connection here. I would still try and verify with the city by pulling records to ensure that is the case. Party line connections in this part of town are a fairly big deal and not something you want to be dealing with. Very expensive to correct. So definitely look into that. We've been sitting here for a few minutes now, which is more than enough time for a toilet flush to make it from the neighbor's house to over to here. We're now back into the cast iron pipe. I do believe we had some standing water here. Now, where I typically start to recommend repairs in bellies is when you have at least, roughly 5 feet of pipe with at least an inch of standing water or right around there. That's where I typically start to see debris collect in the line. With rougher, older cast iron like this, it's easier with less water for stuff to collect because it's not smooth plastic pipe, it's very rough cast iron. Now right here, letting the water settle into place, the water level is kind of bouncing up over the camera lens. Now we're dang near an inch of standing water, and we're at an inch right here for sure. And this appears to start right at the connection to the cast iron pipe. Now the tricky part here is that this particular spot, most of it looks like it's underneath the front porch area where I can't properly locate. I can't get underneath there or anything like that. But from here at about 17 feet is the start of the belly, and the first few feet is at an inch of standing water. It does taper off to less, but there is enough water there to catch debris and cause blockage. So I do recommend a spot repair to correct that. If a repair is not done, I recommend rescoping it in a year to keep an eye on it for debris buildup. Every household lives differently. There might be one person here now or four might be moving in which case the belly would be a much bigger deal in that circumstance. I'm going to push right here to the cast iron transition. I'll see if I can locate and mark this. The belly essentially dissipates here at 31 feet. Yeah, this does, we're underneath the porch here where it looks like it makes the transition. In fact, this is roughly about 2 feet before the end of the deck, or the part of the deck that's closest to the street as the line travels out of the house. We're underneath it here currently, so I can't properly locate that. I'm locating down through, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 feet of decking. It would require a plumber do a little legwork here to figure out exactly where that thing is at. But anyway, I recommend a spot repair to correct the belly from 17 feet to 31 feet, to correct the standing water. We have over an inch of standing water at the first part of the belly, and then as you get to the last half of it, there's about a ½ inch of water. Keep in mind that the cast iron is not smooth like plastic and tends to catch debris all on its own anyway. So it's a spot there where it'd be quite easy for debris to get hung up in the sewer line. And this belly starts right at the clean edge. This is right where the new plastic dives into the ground and ties into the old cast iron pipe there. Now we're going to go ahead and reel the camera out of the line. Now we have the root intrusion at 70 feet, which again I located that. And that I was getting the locator about 6 inches or so beyond the curb, so that should be a city responsibility there. We have a possible party line connection at 36 feet, which I know I talked to the neighbor. I still highly recommend you contact the city to verify with them that it either is or isn't a party line connection. I try to assume everyone's honest, but I've done about 15,000 of these over the years, and I've had a fair amount of homeowners that are aware of the party line, simply not flush the toilet so that doesn't get rolling. So I hate to make that assumption or anything like that, so I recommend contacting the city and just to verify that that is or isn't a party line connection. And then we have the belly in the line that extends from 17 feet to 31 feet, starts right at the cast iron transition or the clean out right at the front foundation wall. There is a clean out in here that you can, I'll put a marking next to that to indicate the start of the repair. Beyond that point, though, I can't locate it properly as it does go underneath a deck in the front. I recommend the spot repair there and get the party line figured out. After any repair work is done, I highly recommend a rescope to ensure it was done correctly. At this time, because we do not have any blockages in the line or anything like that, the line is functioning, although not functioning properly due to the belly. It is functioning at this time, but draining slowly.